All right, seniors, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, I apologize about the voice. Yeah, I'm not going to work on these. Obviously, I'm going to keep it short and sweet today because I'm not going to talk very well. When we look at what you guys have done for the last 4 years, it seems pretty crazy that 4 years ago, you guys all stepped in here and you had a drill week where you thought everything was, couldn't believe how hot it was, how much drill you learned, how confusing all that stuff was. And then each year, you progressively got more and more confident to the point that now you're leading the whole group. Just in terms of thinking about your memory lane, your first show here was one of our most successful ones, which was Free Freedom. Do you remember that? That was awesome. The empowering voice. And then Heart of the Machine, and then following up with the So I think you guys have bookended your years here really well, right? We started with the Super Strong Show. I think you're finishing up with the Super Strong Show. And so you can't start with the Super Strong Show without a great freshman class, which is what you guys were. And you can't wrap it up without a great senior class, which is what you guys were. It seems like it wasn't very long ago the presentation. It's pretty mind-blowing to think about. You guys are already almost halfway on the 18 years in college. It's really amazing. You've come such a long way. I hope you guys feel that way. I don't know if you can really think about 4 years that you're in this span. It seems like an eternity. But the memories you made here, I hope will stay with you forever. I know, speaking for myself and Mr. Murphy, you guys have done so many things over the 4 years that made us really proud. Performance after performance, to see you get better and better and better. There's times when we're trying to push you to be better, and we not see what people want you to do all the time. And it's amazing to look back on your first day here to which is rapidly getting to be your last day. And the change of the person and as performers that's gone down is really, really amazing. It's been amazing for that process. So again, I can't really talk for too long. I'm running out of air here, but I just appreciate the hard work in this senior class. You've done so many great things this year. You've provided awesome leadership, and I think our season has been really great. It's been a pleasure and joy to work with you guys. Thank you very much.
All right. How you guys doing?
Good.
It's really weird to see this group because this is the first time we've seen this group together just like that. It's always been within that. It's been a pep band or that, but this is the first time I've seen you guys just like that. It's pretty amazing. So let's talk about grade stuff. So we started with March of the Women Marines, Brandon Park. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
First year with a student conductor. First year. And Mr. Shearer already said we did 4 freedoms. That was a great show. The next year, Solomon in the front, Rose Parade, Joel Chen. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
That was good, man. We did all that rehearsal up and down the street, up and down the street like this. Yeah, right? Yeah, get the curve, get the L turn, get all that stuff. You guys remember all that, right? That seems like it's forever ago, though, right? Okay, and then the next year we did Washington Parade when David went. You guys remember how challenging that was for you, right? So we rose to the challenge, right? And then this year we did the Concord with Alex Weiss. Woo! And it's going really well for us. Okay, so you guys came in and you started it, your generation of students. This 4 years has been the beginning of some things, and it continues to be the beginning of some things today. And when you graduate, it will still continue to be a beginning of something special. The thing I take away from this group right here is when I see each face, I see a personality. I feel like I've grown that close to each one of you. I see a personality. I see a personality. I see a personality. And they're all amazing. And you got to feel really good about that. Now, that's one thing that band does for people. It allows them to be themselves and to bring their personality out. And I really feel like every single one of you grew so much because you were able to do that. And I'm thankful that I got to share time with you. And I'm thankful that every one of you is going to be part of my life for the rest of it. You know, you guys got to be extremely proud of where you come from. Like Mr. Cheryl said, think about the first day of Hell Week your freshman year. You're 1 foot in front of the other, right? You guys remember that? Now think about what you're doing right now. We're teaching you body movements that you put in 10 minutes and you're ready to go for a show the weekend. That's pretty amazing. So you guys have to be super proud of where you come from. I know I am. And I know I will continue to tell it to you. You got to know this, my last thing. Tradition of excellence. You see it. Who passes it along? This group of people. You pass it along to us. You pass it along to yourselves. You pass it along to them. They know what the tradition of excellence is because of your actions and what you give to them. And I thank you for that.
Hey, y'all. You got a mic? Yay. I'm glad, because they need to hear this later. So you hate it when people come up to you and say, you want the good news or the bad news? Before I start my speech, I'm going to tell you the good news is your senior shirt is really cool this year. Now comes the bad news. It was supposed to arrive today. Guess what didn't happen? However, you will get it as soon as it shows up on our doorstep. So I really appreciate you understanding. Sometimes things are beyond your control, and I know you guys are the best group, and know that the intent was to have it here for you tonight. So anyway, you know, when you give a speech, they always tell you, gosh, if you don't quite know how to start or what that topic is, start with a quote, right? Let me tell you, there are a lot of inspirational quotes about band, about dance, about color guard, about performance, about art. So I picked my favorite to share with you tonight. I'm not going to do a long list. And this quote is by Nellie Mackay. And she said, you know, if I survived marching band, I can survive anything. Now, I think you all did more than survive. I think you thrived. And I could stand here tonight and talk to you about what I think it means to be a senior in this program. And what I think I've seen you do and grow. But I'm not going to do that. Tonight, I'm going to share with you what you think about being a senior in this program. And what you shared with me about how you've grown and what you've learned. A lot of you have spoken to me in the last little while, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. So I'll tell you, there are many things you shared with me, and some of them are profound, and some are profane, and some are just pragmatic, and you can kind of decide where these all fall. I had to take notes, because I didn't remember what y'all said. So I want you to realize, you guys are all seniors, you're all tight, and it's very exciting. But you didn't all get here from the same place. You came from different programs. You didn't all come to marching band in the same year. Some of you have been together since freshman year, some of you are brand new this year. And I wanted to get what the experience of being a senior is from all those perspectives, because I think that's important, and I think there's something to be learned from all of it. And so let me share with you what some of your newest comrades shared with me. Man, when I started this band thing, I was pretty nonchalant. But now, I really see how all the little hours in sectional, in practice, it all adds up. It's actually all important. You know, you have to care, because at the end of a performance, you want to walk off and say, I did my best. And when you can say that, it really feels good. The next thing I heard was, wow, did I learn how to do time management? And I heard from more than one person, I really wish that I had joined this earlier. That this experience was like a family and like no other thing they'd been involved with at Arcadia High. Many of you told me as seniors, things increased. Some of those things are stress and the time crunch. And I am guessing the juniors back there do not believe me. You told me you increased your responsibility levels, your discipline, your commitment and your confidence, your motivation and your maturity, your skill, your leadership, your respect for yourselves and this group, and your sense of direction. And I think that's part of profound. I got some comments about wearing the uniforms. One of them said, you know, it's truly a privilege to get to put on that sweaty uniform. Someone else said, when you put on that Arcadia uniform, it's like putting on a superhero suit. You feel like you can do no wrong. And then you shared a lot of things you've learned from being in this program and being with each other. You said you learned how to work together, that there is more than one way to solve a problem. You learned that when it seems like things get to be a chore, that you've got to remember the people and why you do this. You told me that you learned to help others and not focus so much on yourself. Someone said they learned how to clean their shoes. I also heard there can be a lot of pain and a lot of drama, but when you look back, you wouldn't want to do it any other way. And I heard many, many times, time goes faster than you think it can. Now, I asked y'all, you guys are at a pace, a vantage point, what would you want to share with the folks down there, standing at attention, where you have all stood before, most of you? And when I said, what would you want to tell the kids that are younger than you, that are following you? You said, oh my God, Mrs. Chavez, wait, I gotta get back to you. I want to be wise. And I think you were. And so, down there, this is what they've said. Be on time. Work together. Stick with it. We know it takes a lot of time, but it's worth it. They want you to know that you should cherish every season. The people change, and each year is special in its very own way. They also said don't go for easy and play tuba. This is so big and so organized that this is an experience you will find nowhere else. They wanted you to know that you got to plan ahead. They said sports, activities, the other things you do take a lot of time. And Mrs. Chavez, let me tell you one word, summer school. And then they said, no, that's 2 words. They also wanted you to know you've got to have fun and that you will never forget this. And I think that you know you will never forget this. So I am going to end with a gentleman's quote who I think summed it all up really quite nicely for you. He said, wow, being a senior, what does that mean? You know what, Mrs. Chavez, at the pinnacle of excellence, that's where we are. This is as good as we're going to get. We are at the pinnacle of excellence. And that means a lot because it means we're carrying on a great tradition. But it's more than that. We want to pass that legacy on. And I think you've done a grand job at that, seniors. And I want to thank you all for sharing all of those thoughts with me so that I could give them back to you and give them back to all the people that you do this with. You are, and I'm sorry I'm getting teary because I have a senior, an amazing, very able, and awesome group. And you will be always Apaches. Woo!